Monday, March 29, 2010 marks a new era in Iowa basketball. On Monday, Iowa formally introduced Fran McCaffery as the new head coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I've said many times when asked, will you entertain other offers? Are you looking to move? The answer was always, no, I'm not looking to move. I'm happy where I am. And why is that? Because we found things that we thought were great for our family and what I thought was great for me professionally. And I always said, if I thought about leaving, it would be a very small list. And then when Iowa was presented as an option, as a possibility that I might be interviewed and have an opportunity to talk to Gary, I was ecstatic. But as I went through the process and prioritized what I thought was best for my family and what I thought had the most potential, an opportunity for growth, and something that got me excited, it was Iowa. We just kept coming back to Iowa. I think because I've been here, because I've been in the Midwest, and I know that I have the ability to utilize my connections not only in the Midwest but nationally to help us continue to grow as a program, and I have tremendous respect for the Big Ten, as I've already said, and it was, for me, I thought, the best fit. I've often asked, well, what is your recruiting philosophy? It's pretty simple. Recruiting is about relationships. Relationships with players, coaches, parents, relatives, and I think more importantly, honesty and integrity. So if I explain my vision for a student athlete and what we think that will be, it's important to follow through on that promise. And as long as we continue to tell the truth, we can all deal with that. And what would be my first order of business? Well, my first order of business would be to re-recruit the players that are here. I have familiarity with them. I watched them play some, both in high school, on television. I think we have a great nucleus of young talent. And last year's team was exactly that. It was young, but it was talented. We saw some great things. We saw some struggles, but that can only be expected with a young team. And it's my responsibility to then reach out to those who have signed NLIs with us and to see that they honor their commitments so we can fill our roster, and then we can evaluate at that time, do we have any remaining scholarships? What do we need? What do we need position-wise? So that's my philosophy there. Style of play. And I think that's something that I want to talk about and I'm excited about. We're going to push the ball. We're going to run. We're going to press. We're going to change defenses. We're going to disrupt rhythm. And I think that's how you have to play. You know, some coaches, they lock into one defense, they play half-court basketball, and they run set plays. Well, we're going to run set plays. We're going to run motion. We're going to run ball screen action. And I believe in doing a variety of different things. You will not have a better prepared basketball team take the floor. In terms of tape review, scouting reports, what we show the team, what we look at ourselves, we will be ready. My expectation would be to show improvement immediately. I think that's what I was hired to do. Now, how much improvement, we'll have to see. You know, we'll have to see where we get our roster in terms of improving our depth. But I think you should expect to see immediate improvement. Well, we have to continue to recruit well. We have to coach the right way. And we have to make this building exciting again so the teams come in here and they have no chance. And we all know what it's like to win on the road in the Big Ten. It's not easy. So you need talent, you need cerebral players, and I think my best gift over the years has been, wherever I've been, we've been able to evaluate talent and get them to come and play for me. And those who play for me will tell you they love playing for me. Am I demanding? Yes. Am I reasonable? Yes. Do I communicate? Do I make sure they have fun? Absolutely. Do we have a plan? Do we have a goal? Absolutely. Do we ever lose sight of it? Absolutely not. Will we do it with integrity? Absolutely. And when you do it that way, I think ultimately that's what student athletes want to be a part of when they're making this critical choice in their lives. There's differences between, I always say there's a difference between hustle and the ability to compete. You know, I expect you to hustle, but competing means understanding and carrying out the game plan, and understanding where you fit on the team, and understanding what's necessary to win, whether we're behind or we're ahead, whether we're at home or whether we're on the road. And I can assure you we'll fully understand that.
You know, the pride and tradition of this place is so deep and so strong, and people care so much. Not everybody might have agreed the process I was going through. I do know one thing everybody agreed on, and that's that we all want the same outcome. We want to Phil Carver again. We want to compete for Big Ten championships, and we want to do it with this guy.
What kept coming to the top was how respected he was by his coaching friends, by his coaching peers, and a man that did it with integrity. The other thing that I liked about him was his family. You know, it's a young family, and how you're able to juggle that, and you know, the interaction among his wife and the kids and everybody. That all comes into play, and that's one thing Lute Olson and I talked about 2 weeks ago. Was I think it's important. He said that a guy has a young family.
Some of you might say, you know, I don't really know much about him. And my honest answer is I didn't know a lot about Fran when this process started. I knew of him, I knew of Siena and the things that had happened in the last several years. And I started to talk to basketball people around the country. They started to call me, and they started to tell me more about him. You know, they told me about him rebuilding 3 programs. They told me about the fact that he's taken 3 different teams to the NCAA tournament. And then, of course, you know, looking into it and seeing what Siena had done. When he took over at Siena, they had won 6 games. In the last 3 years, they've been in the NCAA tournament. They lost to Purdue this year. They beat Ohio State last year. They beat Vandy the year before. And so all those things started to intrigue me.
Yeah, you're going to see improvement from the first game. I think when they see that first fast break, when guys are running up and down the court, fans are going to see what can be done here. Now, you got to be able to recruit. You know, we got to hit some scholarships there. So you got 1 right now, 1 next year. So in 2 years, you're going to have, I think, 3 scholarships at that point. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but you're going to see some major improvement within 2 years.
I've done it at multiple institutions and in different parts of the country. So my experience level, I think, is a little bit different. And I've been successful everywhere I've been, and fully intend to be successful here.
Reporting from inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, I'm Alex Solsma for Palestra.net, the College Network.